Sorry, folks, I was a little late start there. Got some good news. Got a job interview tomorrow in the morning, so we are going to do a short show tonight. I'm only in for 30 minutes anyway, so and really at work is mostly a recap because I've been working all day. I've been drawing all day, and I got the videos to prove it. Right now on my, let's see here. Let me make sure my audio is there. Yes, okay, I got audio. Right now, oh wait, you're not even looking at my page. Here we go. There we go. Right now, on my YouTube channel page, you'll see a playlist for page 18, and that's what we're working on today. And you'll see how I got from 0 to this. I will tell you this. I got some really cool stuff done today, as you can see. And we're gonna just put on some backgrounds, and while I set up the scene. So in the playlist for page 18, you'll see how all this got started, and it'll start off showing you basically this, and then this, and then that, and there we are. Now that seems like a little bit now, but that was a lot of effort. Okay, so preliminary pencils are pretty much done. I mean, there's going to be some touch-up stuff, but for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to set up a backgrounds folder. Gosh, I did that wrong. Okay, we'll just put this in the folder here, like that. There we go. We're going to type in, and I think the videos from yesterday's work kind of shows this part done at, like, 6 times speed. I think that's quintuple speed, but that sounds like 5. And I think sextuple might be 6, but I'm not sure. And I don't feel like Googling it. I just don't. I don't need to put anything there. That's fine where it is. Okay, so this scene is, of course, page 18. And so yesterday, our intrepid metahumans, our heroes, are investigating the first metahuman murder, or serial murders. Like this guy is killing metahumans so far, and they're trying to catch him before it escalates into something else. Now, I like this section here, but truth be told, it's kind of weird because they're off the ground, and they're not supposed to be. Like, they don't fly. And I thought that would be a cool effect, but now that I think about it, I don't know how to represent seeing them from under the ground, so I may have to lose that. So what we'll do is we'll find our pencil and see where that bad boy is at. There it is. We're gonna grab ooh, that pencil's a little thick, but you know what? Let's grab that pencil. Let's grab this one here. No, let's grab this one. Okay, that's one I like. Yeah, give me that. There we go. Okay, and then let's see. Also, let's get this layer here knocked down a little bit in opacity. I'm also gonna adjust my screen physically out here. That's better. Okay, so I know that we got our, and then, like, when I do these types of this section, this is a lot of freehand stuff. The math of, oh, what's going on here? How come I can't see it? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. I've done that before. I reduced the opacity on the wrong layer. No, I didn't. I just drew on the wrong layer. That's the one I want. Okay. So, basically, it's a large complex. It's a big, yeah, I need some more lead here. Here we go. It's a big, like, complex that they're walking towards. And so in that first shot here in this panel, they're actually looking up at it, or she is. So what I'll do is, let's put some bushes for the time being. Like, we'll just busy up this section, and we'll put some shrubbery. And I can make the shrubbery look like shrubbery tomorrow after my job interview. When I get home and I'm ready to sit down and draw. And so yeah, we'll put some bushes there, and that way I don't have to worry about their feet, because I like the angle, but truth be told, I don't know how to represent a street that you can see through. I just don't know how that would work, so we're not even gonna bother with that. We'll just put some bushes there, and then we'll just bush it all up. You know, we'll just put a happy tree here. I said happy tree. I heard myself say it. We'll put a tree here, and so on and so forth, and we'll just get some landscaping here, right? And then we'll just, in the distance, you know, put like a generic kind of skyline. Doesn't really matter at this point. The lines, the hard straight lines, will come during the inking phase when I'm finishing it up. So you know, we'll just right now represent the used space. You know what I mean? Just so I can get a good I can see it later on. So okay, so they're gonna go in there, and I might actually make it more like a complex of buildings, because why this one apartment would stand by itself doesn't make a great deal of sense. So maybe we'll just sort of represent that there's more than one complex or something. We'll figure it out, right? Okay. Here is another issue where technically the perspective line is going across like this, and I really need some more lumber on this one, huh? That's 25. Let's see if I get a good dark line in the first pass. This is, it works. Okay, so then if our line of perspective is going like this, and come on, eraser. No, my eraser doesn't work. Maybe it's time to charge up this pen. Huan said that it'll give me like 360 hours without having to recharge again. I don't know. Maybe I'm just you know, I'm loading, so maybe it's not the pen at all. It's just the lead I'm picking. So I'm gonna, as soon as it lets me, I'm gonna change brushes. I don't think this is the brush I want for this type of work here. Let's see what this one does for me. This is huge, but there we go. That's a little, well, let's just bring it in, reel it in a little bit. There we go, perfect. Okay, so, and then we'll just kind of give a perspective issue here, and then we can start putting in whatever we want across the street, you know. Again, the math of the perspective and stuff will come when I get towards the inks. This is just basically essentially the idea. They're on a, I don't like that at all. So let's just use the street as our barrier here, and let's go like this, and we'll just kind of get some kind of stuff in the background there, you know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So they're on this street, and streets are weird in this time period anyway, so that'll work. Okay, and then we'll just come back to that. Tomorrow's videos will pick up with, you know, me addressing this. I think we need to purge too. I think we just do. We're gonna purge. Oh, don't show me that again. I'm busy here. I'm trying to make a TV show. Alright, so we're purging. And hopefully I'll put a little more pep in my computer step. Maybe not. Well, I should have waited to let it purge though. Okay, so if you are stopping in, I gotta ask you a favor. I would like to be able to share my handy dandy super nifty YouTube URL, you know, and I found out later on after doing a lot of work on my YouTube page that I have to have 100 subscribers before I actually get the URL, and I don't right now. I only have 4 subscribers, which makes me sad. But you know, it is what it is. These videos are kind of like a acquired taste. I don't expect everyone on my Facebook friends list to be dying to watch me draw. You know, I just don't. Okay, so if anyone out there could subscribe to my channel, that would be super duper awesome. I just would like to be able to, when I share the work I do, you know, to be able to give you a URL that like seems like I know what I'm doing on the internet. Now, this is actually going to be one of my favorite things to do, because I actually like drawing plants and stuff. I just like it because the stems from plants and whatnot are always so like varied and random. And as you can see, I don't love drawing straight lines at all. And so any chance I get to draw something with a, you know, curve, you know, a contour, I'm all for it. So plants have always been something that, like, ooh, I get to draw plants, that sort of thing. And so basically what this is going to be is like an ivy wall, or like one of those wooden rack things that people climb in movies. Well, Kofi here is going to climb one here. Now, I haven't talked much about this character, Kofi, because Kofi has a lot of history. Kofi also is named after someone who was a real person in my life, a cousin of mine who passed away some time ago. He used to have the full first and last name, but when the story demanded they didn't have last names, I had to get rid of the last name. But Kofi used to be a different character altogether, because Max and Kofi are technically, like I said in yesterday's episode, the New World Chronicles was a bunch of stories characters I created and stories I'd written that were completely unrelated. Then I related them all. And Kofi and Max are probably the most disconnected characters as compared to the other characters. Like everyone else is some kind of superhero story. But Kofi and Max actually come from another story that's kind of like a cop story called Rescue Squad 5, which was supposed to be a kid's story about super emergency rescue kind of people. And I just didn't like that idea. I mean, not for me to work on personally. I always felt like, new favorite tool. There it is there. Oh, I love that. I always felt like it wasn't in my wheelhouse to write that kind of a story about a bunch of basically super paramedics. I thought the idea was great. You've probably heard of Rescue Heroes, and I think the idea is great, but it wasn't something I could ever really do regular, because I just didn't have the sensibilities for it. And the first sign of that was when I was working on the idea, I ended up having oh gosh, she has a window. That's so weird. It's gonna be hyper futuristic, and windows are gonna be not necessarily a necessity. So her having a window has to mean something significant. I just realized that. Oh well. Anyway, so basically, I created two cops to have some sort of conflict that wasn't the oh my god, something's on fire kind of conflict. Something else. And when I decided to just give up on even attempting to keep doing this Rescue Squad 5 story, I just kept the two cops I created, who basically were using that story to investigate any criminal aspects of what the rescue people would be involved in. So if there was arson, then there would be two cops who would work as liaisons with these paramedic guys, super paramedics, and that's where Kofi and Max came from. Back then they were Max Turles and Nick Takagawa, and then Max was this white guy, and Nick was of course an Asian guy, or Japanese guy, and he was based on a character that's based on Jackie Chan. I modeled Nick after a character from Tekken, who was in turn modeled after Jackie Chan. And so eventually, as Nick and Max got wrapped into the New World Chronicles stories, I sort of had to change of heart about Nick altogether, and I created Kofi instead to replace Nick as Max's partner. And then eventually, of course, the rest is history. Max, becomes Superman essentially, and Kofi actually, well, he's only going to be in the Metro PD 12 issue series. Okay, so also there's another issue here. I kind of made a bit of it's not a mistake, it's just when I plotted out with Design Doll for this sequence, I forgot that it was going to be hard to composite them to fit this entire box in a way that I liked. Now I still might grab these guys in here and make them so big that they, you know what? That actually may not be that difficult. Let's try that. We're here. Let's see. Is that where I'm at? That's where I'm at. All right. Let's do this. I think I can do this, and it works. Let's grab it. Okay, we're grabbing it, and then we're gonna transform. And the trick, you know what? We'll bring it up here. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, and then we're going to get rid of the. You know, that's not that bad. Okay, I don't dislike that at all. Okay, let's go back to our background stuff, and we're just gonna get rid of these unnecessary word bubbles because they're not part of the background. I put them in there to show you what I had in mind, but I think what I just did is vastly a better idea. The word bubbles might eventually be there still, but not in that regard. Okay, now you see how I'm getting a little slowdown on just this page. I had to learn the hard way that, you know, one Photoshop document can only take so much, and there was a time when you'd find the entire comic book I was working on in one Photoshop document. You know, if you've seen one of the other videos, you know that all the page layouts are all together in one 30-layer document. That's just the boxes and the words, and I bring those over to a new file. Well, in the beginning, each one of those layers had a folder with everything in it. So it got to the point where my computer just was like, will you please open a new file? You know, I'm serious. And so I had to, you know, do what the computer said and open it up a new file. Let's see here. So yeah, in this sequence is a couple of different things. So remember, this is the first issue, so I'm trying to establish the various plot lines. And there's a number of plots that have to go through the first 12-issue series. The PTSD plot is, of course, the main plot, and that centers on Fiona. And you're going to see in this issue how severe her issues are with stress disorder. And then the other plot goes to the overarching story concerning how superheroes eventually appear on the planet, because there eventually will be people with, you know, masks and whatnot running around saving the day and all that good stuff, but not quite yet. At this point, we're just looking at, you know, people with amazing abilities, but we touch a little bit on some crime fighter-esque sort of situations, but not in any way that you're going to follow that trail of breadcrumbs. Like, I'm not going to steer you to that conclusion in any time with any immediacy. Instead, I'm going to sow the seed to explain how this one generation of super people can beget an entire generation of super people years and years in the future. And that's why you're going to meet Kofi's girlfriend so early in the story, because basically the concern was obviously that if we breed an army of supermen, how do we keep them from being our masters? And I mentioned the character from Jurassic Park because that scene actually is more apt to this plot line than what I was speaking about in yesterday's episode. And essentially, you're going to find out that the superhumans are made sterile. They can't reproduce. Remember, these people are grown in a laboratory. They're not. There's no mother and father. That's why they don't have a family name. And like I said, they're more like clones from Star Wars than they are mutants or any other kind of comic book convention. And so, basically, yeah, they're born sterile, but nature finds a way, and I'll leave it at that. And so the reason I'm telling you that, and it's not really a spoiler, is because what's most important is how they come to terms with this realization. And it's not Kofi who comes to this realization. It's another character they're going to meet that dramatically changes Kofi's relationship. And it also then sets the stage for a species of superhumans to, like, basically self-perpetuate, to continue on going. Let's see here. let's see if I can just add some values, because the background is going to take some serious labor, and I don't want to try and rap to you folks while I'm doing that. So let's look at some of this down here, and we'll just grab the pencil and put some value on it. I don't like that. I think this is the one I want. Yeah. And we can just, oh, wait. Okay. This pencil does not like it. Earlier, this was like my go-to pencil, I thought. It's okay. I gotta work on it. I gotta work it to get it out of there, but it's worth it in the end. I like the effect I'm getting. Now, I can't wait to get to the inks. I'm trying to keep myself from jumping right into inking, because these last couple of pages is the first time I've used this particular brush, this pencil brush. Before, I used basically a ink line, to draw with, because it's a computer. I can just skip ahead. But I kind of did this whole Batman drawing, the kind of on the fly spur Batman drawing, as I was still checking my audio levels and stuff to make sure this show at least technically worked, and so I started using this pencil brush because I couldn't find the brush I wanted, and I just kind of like the fact that I have to do a little bit more work to get the value out, because that kind of slows me down. And when you watch my videos, even if they're sped up at the 6x speed, you can see towards the end of the video where I'm starting to get a little tired. The cool thing about recording almost everything I do for the comic book is that I feel this sense of I can't just stop because I feel like it. I gotta finish this, because if I pause the recording, it screws up the recording. It is not really a pause. When you go to check your recordings, you have 2 videos there, and that's not pausing. That's stopping and starting again. Don't give me 2 videos and tell me I paused. So I can't really pause without risking kind of ruining my video. So that means that if I know I want to get something done for a particular video segment, I gotta power through it. Now, as time goes by, I may have to change that stance just out of necessity. But for now, I would like to be able to just pick a spot, draw it all out, record it all, and just make myself hang in there until it's done, knowing that I really want it to be right. So, you'll see a little bit of laziness. Actually, I'm looking at the image right now. I can just show you. Here down at the bottom, I don't like some of this. I think that, I don't know, some of the line work is a little, I don't know. But the thing that's cool though is, and why I decided to go with the inks, is because yes, my line work can get a little lazy, but however, I'm totally gonna ink it now. And since I'm gonna ink it, it doesn't hurt me as bad to not have all the line work perfect. Also, I've adapted an inking style that I think will work. And if you look at my DeviantArt page, you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of it is already there, and basically ever since I started actually digitally painting, I've cared less and less about certain details. In the finished product, I want the finished product to be right. And so because of that, I stopped really caring about making sure I get every muscle, every line. I know I'm gonna have color, and I know I'm gonna do the color myself. And so based on that, I have basically been able to be more forgiving on myself during this phase. Even Photoshop and the freedom Photoshop gave me didn't completely take away my anxiety about doing things poorly. I'm like, oh, this is gonna suck, and I can't keep going. This is terrible. But then I realized that it's a process that has multiple parts. And so my inks, for example, my inks are gonna be a solid black through all of this. It's gonna be a solid black. I like how that finished product looks, and so I'm not gonna be afraid of using what I like a lot. I just think it ends up making the picture look more rich, and when I reduce so much of the area with just like dark, deep blacks for inks, then the colors I do throw in there just, to me, pop a little bit more. And I gotta work on Kofi's face. I don't know. I don't like those eyebrows, to be quite honest. I just don't. I think those eyebrows suck. And something's up with mine. Oh, I know what's going on here. I got the wrong... There it is. I actually hit the wrong brush. Okay. I had a brush that was basically a faded kind of... I don't know, the lack of a better term. It was a brush that kind of made it seem to show like a faded line. Like it's kind of fuzzy, I guess. But he's supposed to be surprising this girl. You know. I didn't like how this came out. I was tired earlier. I mean, I had been at it all day. Tomorrow's gonna be a long day because I gotta go to this job interview. I'm so excited about. Ooh, I want to get a job. I want to get a job. Oh my gosh, dude! I got hurt at work late last year or early this year in February, and then have just never had much luck in the Inland Empire finding a regular 9 to 5. Anywhere else I've been, I've only been out of work for a short time, and then I found work. But in the Inland Empire, I don't know what it was, but it just Inland Empire did not want to hire me. Even though I got a job in the Inland Empire, I worked at a distribution center, but that was like the only thing I could get. I had no luck anywhere else, no matter where I went to. And it wasn't even just bad luck. It was I couldn't get the interview. I couldn't get the interview, and that's what hurt the most. And it also made me feel like there was something up because like I could see if I kept interviewing and people were turning me down. But I can't get the interview, so what is going on? So I still don't know if there was something going on or just the bad time of the year. I don't know. But anyway, I got an interview tomorrow, and I'm not gonna jinx it by like making any promises. But I am definitely determined to put it like that. Determined is the word. It is the word. Also, shout out to Twitter. I've been getting followers who are like awesome artists and stuff who I don't know how they even got wind of me, because I can see my views and stuff on Twitter and on YouTube and on Facebook, and I can tell that no one's watching this stuff. I can tell that. So how they end up friending me or following me on Twitter is a mystery to me, because from what I gather, no one watches these videos, so no one can know. If they don't know they exist, how am I getting follows? And so I don't know, but I'm just gonna count it as I don't know and leave it at that. And hopefully, if I keep making these videos, somebody will stumble upon one, and then they'll stumble on the other ones, or something like that. But it's just luck, I guess. And I mean, there are people who do graphic novels, people who write scripts and stuff. I don't want to put anyone's name in my videos, but people who I think are really awesome, and they're following me on Twitter, which, sad to say, I don't tweet well. And I don't mean they're not good. I think I have some sometimes funny tweets. The one tweet I got the most recognition for is the most embarrassing tweet I've ever sent out. A tweet I sent out at 2 o'clock in the morning, making fun of someone I would not normally typically care to make fun of. I just don't feel any, I don't really have that strong an opinion as the tweet would have suggested. It was just late and I was about to go to bed, and I just read the tweet wrong and responded, and it got a bunch of likes and, sad to say, retweets for the whole next day. And it made me just want to get off Twitter for a while, because I was sincerely hoping that the person I tweeted about wasn't gonna make something of it. But apparently, for me, a crap load of people is literally a drop in the Twitter bucket. So it was, no big deal, which is nice. I've never been so happy, no big deal horror my whole life. I thought it was cool that nothing ever really came of it. I was oh, I felt like I dodged the bullet there. Okay, so all right, we're running a little past time, and I just want to right now, this is a commitment for me. I'm not, I don't want to start doing this and then just kind of taper off because no one's checking it out, because it's the internet and it's on there forever. So yeah, people may not be checking out the live cast now, but who knows? Who knows, right? And so I can't ever like give up on something like this, because the moment I stop is the moment I look up one day and I got some page views and I'm like, oh crap, I should have been doing this the whole time. So yeah, so let's zoom out a little bit, have a look at what we got. Actually, this is fit screen. Okay, and then we're gonna reset the view and then have a look. Okay. So that's gonna take some work. This is gonna take some work. That's actually gonna be easy and fun, because I really wanted a pathway to the door of like his high-rise apartment, and I can still get that because you're gonna see an exterior scene of the apartment in the next page anyway. And we probably will still be talking about page 18 tomorrow night. But maybe if I can work hard tomorrow, we won't be talking about page 18 tomorrow night. We'll be talking about the very, very beginning of page 19. I was really excited to get a whole page done in one day, at least in the primary pencils. And I almost did. But we're past the halfway mark, I guess, on primary pencils. And then, as far as time-consuming stuff goes, pencils are the most time-consuming part. Inks are faster. Colors, it's hit or miss. Okay, so we're gonna save. All right, I'm saving. I'm gonna open my little window, which is super professional, and you're gonna see that. And I'm gonna say goodbye. Oh, please subscribe to my channel, please, for the love of all that's holy. And also, I have a Patreon account. I don't know how to link to it. I don't know. I mean, I have it there. I have one friend who kind of helped me get it set up, and like, I can't figure out what that thing is doing. I don't know how to get people to see it, or what the link is to see it. There's nothing in it's so. Look up Dante R Maddox, DanteRmaddox on the Patreon site, patreon.com, and if you can find me, that's awesome. If you could help me out with that, that'd be great. It's not a big deal because I have a job interview tomorrow, and hopefully, make a little cash, and then I can fit in both. It's a full-time thing, so I'm a little concerned about that, but I've come too far to let a full-time job slow me down. I'll just be real tired for a while, and I'll always have Saturdays and Sundays and off days. So subscribe, that would be awesome. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at 6 times normal speed sometime tomorrow.